You know what time it is. It's time for a very enlightening review. This time, I'm going to review the Petzl Tikka RXP. Catch me right after this. Hey St. Jude runners, thanks for following me and giving me a like and subscribing to my channel. If you haven't had a chance to, please take that opportunity and subscribe down below and push the little bell to get notifications when I post a new review. Today I am going to be reviewing this piece of gear. This is the Petzl RXP. The Tikka is the model on it. And wanted to give you a little bit of information on this. Before, I was running with the black diamond headlamp that I bought on from REI for about 20 bucks on their garage sale. Okay lamp, pretty dim, even with full brightness. It had 5 LEDs on it, and I think the total lumen output was maybe 75. I decided to do my first night trail run up in Kansas City, and in doing so needed something a little bit brighter so I wouldn't trip and fall on my face in the rocks. And so I decided that a good idea would be to go and see what I could find. Watch some online reviews, and at the time I figured that this would be a good way to go. Had good reviews out there. It was rechargeable, has a wonderful output of about 215 lumens, and everybody that I had seen with reviews thought it was really good headlamp. So I made the purchase, sent out for it, and ironically it came the day of the trail race in the mail as we were leaving town to go up to the expo to check in and get my bib. So it charged in the car. I used the micro USB that came with it, and it plugs right into the top right here under this little flap and charges. It is a weather tight seal there. I would not say waterproof by any means, but I have used it in lots of rain and it has come out okay. So this is the Tikka RXP, and if you see here, if I could get it to focus, it has 3 different lenses there, and there we go, 3 different lenses, and then this one right up here in the corner is the eye. And what that is this uses their Reactic technology. There is a newer version out that does have Bluetooth on it, but the Reactic technology, I think I'm saying that right, from Petzl, it uses this little eye here to pick up ambient light. So if you are running and going against other runners, the light will dim as you come up, and so you're not going to be blinding other people in the face when you're looking at them. I do have some positives and negatives about that. So Petzl is a good brand. They've been around for a long time. They use this one strap system. It has a terry lining on the back side of the front where it goes against your forehead. I always wear a visor or a hat, as you've seen on my other reviews. So it goes something like this. This hat I have not used to run in, but it just goes over and sits on my bill of my hat. The only problem with this is I have to aim it up some so that the light doesn't hit my bill and bounce back and make this dim. That's a problem with this seeing eye system. I think it's really designed to be worn without a hat or a visor, which would make sense because it's nighttime, but that's how I use it in order to soak up sweat and keep the sweat out of my eyes. So if you wear it like this, that terry lining that's on the back makes it stick really well to your forehead, even if you're sweaty. So not bad at all. It is a little bit front heavy, but you can adjust the back just by pushing and pulling the 2 sleeves on the outside. It looks like this, in and out. So you can push them out and that tightens it, and pull them in and it loosens it. So depending on what your hat size or your head size is, that's the adjustment system on the Petzl Tikka RXP. Mine is a little dirty, quite a bit dirty, because I wear it all the time because I get up and run before the sun comes up, and I want others to be able to see me. So talking about features on this, it does have different modes, and it does have different beam patterns. It does have a red light, as you can see. That's a nice red light that lights up there. So it does have a red light mode, and then it does have the different high and low beams. So this is currently a low beam. I'm going to try not to shine it directly into the lens of the camera. This is a low beam. Now if I cover up this sensor here, it should, in theory, get brighter. Let me see if I can make it a little bit dimmer here. So turn off some lights, and if you notice, this second light right here turns on and boosts the overall output. So that is the shine. It does a really good job of lighting up the trail with the two beams. One is kind of pointed down a little bit, and the other one is more of a spot out, whereas the other one is a flood. So this one acts more as a flood to me when I'm using it. So if you notice, when you cover that sensor up, so the red light's up here, this here, let's turn off the overhead light, turn that back on. This right here that looks like another lens is the eye. So this is what causes it to get light and dark, is this little eye on there. So this is the red light right here. This is kind of the spot beam, flood beam, and this is the sensor that turns it into boost mode. So when you're using it, if you cover that eye up, you get the full boost, and it gets pretty bright, and has a good pattern. And I'm going to see if I can make that hit the wall for you. So that's with both lights lit up, and that's just with the one. It's pretty hard to see with the overhead light. Let's try turning that off. So that is just with the flood beam that shines down, and then when it is dark enough outside, you get the boost feature, which does really, really well, and that gives you a good spread pattern, and it is very good at lighting up the trail quite a bit of distance ahead of you. So it is still getting some feedback because of the proximity of the wall, so it's still getting some light feedback to it, but it does a really good job at regulating that light. All right, so positives about this. In my review, I love how easy this strap system is. I don't have another strap going over the top of my head that gets in the way of wearing it with a hat or with a visor or a helmet. I can wear this as is. It is very useful in wearing in a variety of things. This does not give me a headache and give me undue pressure on the front of my head, giving me a headache after I've run. I have done a couple night runs, trail runs with this, and no problems whatsoever, no slippage, anything like that. It does have an internal rechargeable battery, like I stated. It's under this little flap on top. It does use a micro USB cable to charge, and that micro USB cable will illuminate a little LED that is on the side, and that will go from red to green as it is charged, and it flashes. There is a battery on the back here, and I'm going to see if I can help you see that a little bit better. There is it's hard, that little crevice right there. So right there is a little door, and you can remove that, and that little door can be taken off, and you can replace that with a battery pack that Petzl also sells. So if you're doing an extended night where you think that the battery for this will not last, you can switch that out and put a battery pack in there and keep on trucking. So things I like about it, the beam spread is fantastic. I have not had any problems being able to see stuff. You will be able to see quite a bit ahead of you, and it just works. I haven't had any problems with it. The newer version does have Bluetooth and some other new technologies on it. I kind of like less things that run and use up my battery. So that's why I like this one and did not upgrade to the new one. You do get an increase in lumens in the brand new one, which has the Bluetooth, but I mean, it depends on what you're using it for. I don't need Bluetooth in my headlamp to do certain things, to change modes, stuff like that. I want to keep as simple of technology while I'm running as possible. So I do like the fact that it has different modes. I do like the fact that it adjusts so I don't blind people if I use this for camping. However, the negatives about that same system is if you are running and it is cold outside and you breathe and you get fog that comes up in front of you, this sensor, because of the way it's set up, the fog will obstruct the light just enough that it keeps tripping the sensor. And so it will continually go bright, dark, bright, dim, bright, dim, bright, dim as the fog rolls over the front of it. Same thing with a little bit of mist. If there's mist in the air, that kind of thing, it throws it off. It is kind of annoying, but it's a trade-off. So there's that. The switching between the modes can get complicated, especially and frustrating when you're just trying to run or just trying to use the product. I keep it in this same mode where I just turn it on and go. I hate changing the modes on this, so I don't even bother. I just keep it in this mode where it has the auto boost on it, and it's very simple on and off. So I do like the amount of lumens that it outputs. I would love to have more. I have a headlamp on my bike that will run 1,000 lumens, so 200 lumens is not very much, but it's adequate for the speed that I'm going to get far enough ahead to be able to see what I need to see. The charging on it is very easy, very simple with the USB, the micro USB. I use that same micro USB to charge my headphones that I run with, as well as some other devices, and so I always have one with me. It does have the heat sink grates. That's what this is here, and that's what this hole is here in the battery flap, or the charger flap, is the heat sink for the lamp. I have not had it get warm on my head even after a continual use, so they do a really good job of getting the heat away from there. I do like the fact that they have that replaceable battery so that you can switch it out. Let's see if I can remove this one. See, that is the rechargeable battery that you can just take out of the back there, and then the new one just slides in to that same place and you can switch them out. So you can buy multiples of this same rechargeable batteries, keep them on hand, or you can buy the I think it's a double or AAA pack. I think it's AAA battery pack that clips into that same way. So it's really easy to use. Highly recommended. They did have the bigger version of this, which has more lumen output, but it is more expensive. This one I picked up for $70 on a sale, and I think it usually runs about $100, and so it was really worth it. I would recommend them again and again. Petzl does a fantastic job with all of their equipment. I use their equipment for rock climbing and stuff like that. So I would recommend this to anybody looking for a headlight to go running with, to stay safe out there. Please make sure that you are, if you're running on the roads after dark or before the sun comes, make sure to get some illumination, whether it be a glow vest or a headlamp or light up cuffs for your shoes. Any of that will work. The more people can see you, the less likely you are to be hit. I know regardless of how much I have lit up on myself, I still almost get hit quite often, and I wear bright yellow clothes and reflective shoes, and people just don't pay attention as much as they should. So be safe out there. Thanks for watching. Catch some of my other reviews. I've got some new reviews coming up now that I'm starting to catch back up on things. I will get around to some hydration vest reviews as the time comes, and I've got some other items. If you'd like to see me review something specific, mention it in the comments. I would gladly take a look and go out and buy something if it would work for my kit. Also, I've got some new 5 Fingers shoes that I plan on doing reviews. They're new to me, they're old, but they are one of my favorite running shoes that are out there. and I will find them wherever I can on the secondary market to be able to have them. So thanks for joining me. I appreciate your time, and I hope you enjoyed this review. Give me a thumbs up, smack on the subscribe button, and go and support St. Jude and the wonderful programs that they have there. And I look forward to sharing more reviews with you in the future. Thanks again. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.